Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Train Mama. Today we're having a look at this Thomas and Friends magazine. It's from the 7th of February 2001. We're going to skim through the pages of the magazine. Any stories I will upload in full separately to give them the airtime they deserve. Let's dive in. Over on the left hand side then is the contents page, and over on the right is Storytime, Too Much Rock. Duncan rocks and rolls. Over on the next page then is Henry's Counting Time. Skarloey and Rheneas are two of the busiest engines working on the narrow gauge railway. How many of these things can you find in the big picture? Over on the next page then is Today's Trains with a nice little poster that you can put on your wall. And over on the right hand side is Engine Puzzle. Here we are trying to find the odd one out. Over on the next page then is Look and Learn with Terence. Today we're looking at narrow gauge engines. We're looking at Sir Handel, Peter Sam, Rheneas, Stepney, and we're finding out more about these friends. Over on the next page then is a colouring opportunity. It's Rockin' Duncan. And over on the right hand side, a really useful engine. Beep, beep, went Thomas as he passed Caroline on his way to the quarry. Look at the picture and fill in the rectangle with the right colour. Colouring fun with Toad. Over on the next page then is an activity. It's called Rock and Roll Duncan. Duncan has rocked and rolled so much on his icy rails that he has slipped off the tracks again. Lucky for him, Skarloey has brought some help. For this activity, we are going to find the small images in the big image. So over on the right hand side, there are 5 small images, one of which is like a little robin. We're looking for the little robin in the big picture. Does that make sense? Lovely. Over on the next page then is a double spread poster. It's Stepney. Over on the next page then is an activity called Puffing Along. We're going to practice the use of those pens, pencils or crayons, whichever you prefer. And today we're looking at the words Skarloey, Peter Sam and Sir Handel. Over on the next page then is an activity. It's called Double Up. We're again practicing the use of the pens, pencils or crayons to write over Duncan, Duke, mountains, steam, hill and clouds. And then over on the right hand side is a little rhyme. I may use one of these AI apps and just see if I can bring that to life a little bit. Ooh. Over on the next page then is Percy's post bag. We're looking at letters and drawings that young people have sent in. It does say you can send in your drawings. I wouldn't recommend it. The place probably is no longer open. Over on the next page then is Count with Gordon on the railways. Here are some things which keep the railways running smoothly on the island of Sodor. Count how many engines, signs and railway staff there are and write the amount in the circle. Lovely. Then over on the right hand side is a nice little poster of Skarloey and Rheneas. Over on the next page then is a subscription offer, and over on the right hand side is a prize photo. Here we are looking at little boy George who won this pop-up tent. And it does say in the fine print that they do not send back photographs. It does make my brain wonder, what do you do with them? Do you shred them? Who knows? And over on the bottom of the right hand side is just a little advert for future magazines. Over on the next page then is a special story about Rheneas. And over on the right hand side there is a bit of an activity. How many people can you see? What colour is the banner? Have you visited a museum? Over on the next page then is Percy's pictures. We're going to be completing the sentences using a pen, pencil or crayon to practice the words. Before we go, here is just a little look at the back cover. So that brings us to the end of that magazine skim through. I really hope that you enjoyed listening on with me today. As I mentioned, all of the stories I will upload in full separately. I may run out of time today. I often do run out of time to do things on the same day, but I'll bring them to you as soon as I can. What did you think? Let me know. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up like button. Really helps me out. And if you want to hear more of these, then make sure you subscribe so you won't miss a thing. Other than that, have a great day.